All right, YouTube. Once again, it's Kennard, Vernon Stewart here for the podcast talking Auburn football here on Vernon Speak Sports Auburn. Go ahead and like the video, comment. Please definitely comment, especially your prediction in the comment section. Down in the Deep South, college football is king, and on the plains of Auburn, the battle cry is War Eagle. All right, so Auburn welcomes one of their most bitter rivals into Jordan-Hare Stadium here on Saturday. This is actually going to be a night game that's going to be played on ESPN. Who would have thunk it? Glad this is not a 12 o'clock game. Glad that I will be on the scene to where I can actually watch the game and do some commentary on the game after. So, here we are in the thick of things. Auburn 3-1. And with an opportunity, statistically, to continue their conquest of being relevant in the SEC. The only thing is we got some problems, guys. We have some absolute problems. Well, for one, Auburn can't score. Auburn is single digits in the second half against Power 5 football teams over the last whenever. I mean, you can go look up the stats. Auburn can't score in the second half. Beat Mercer 42-16, beat San Jose State 24-16, and beat Missouri 17-14, lost to Penn State 41-12. Here's our big problem. Most of the scoring average, where you talk about Auburn scoring 24 points per game, came against Mercer, an FCS school that is not really relevant as it relates to the outcome of Auburn. 24-16 struggle against San Jose State. Penn State pretty much dropped the ball, absolutely got outscored in the second half after being down 14-6, only to lose that game 41-12. Missouri, in a situation where, Auburn up 14-0, let them come back, and then had the improbable fumble in the end zone. So offensively, I think Auburn's got some big problems coming into this football game. Tank Bigsby has not been able to be any surmountable factor for these Auburn Tigers this year, when there were thoughts that he would be up for some of the greater awards in the country, and he's just not getting the touches. You talk about Tank Bigsby, who, really, with all the hard work and with the situation where he possibly could have hit the transfer portal but didn't, only 281 yards up to this point. And it's about time for Tank Bigsby to have a breakout game, probably in the best setting possible. You talk about Tank Bigsby right now, 57 yards for 281 yards, 4.9 yards per carry, 39 yards is his longest with 4 touchdowns. He's actually tied with Jarquez Hunter, the sensation out of Mississippi, who also has 4 touchdowns as well. If Auburn's going to have an ounce of a chance to win this football game, one, with the quarterback situation as it is, Robbie Ashford right now is the guy. And in my opinion, in a game like this, where he's going to make a mistake. He absolutely is going to make a mistake. He's probably going to make a very catastrophic mistake. And with Robbie Ashford, from a mentality and from a behavioral issue, he's got to go on to the next play. He doesn't really have time to beat himself up and, look himself in the mirror too hard, because you got to move on to the next play, because, there's a situation where Auburn's defense can actually help him out. You got, Cam Riley, linebacker, leading in tackles with 30 tackles. And here's another issue. Auburn's got to create some turnovers. Derek Hall, who is an edge linebacker, has the only interception for this team. And it was actually came at a pivotal point in that Missouri game to where Auburn had the opportunity, and they did take advantage of it. went up 14-0 before allowing Missouri to inch their way into that game. Now, we look at the LSU side of things. I actually like what I see. Maybe not for Auburn's sake, but when LSU took on Florida State, I thought they gave Florida State everything they wanted. I thought, LSU probably, had the opportunity, obviously, to be on the winning side of that football game. I was very impressed with how they came out. I was very impressed with their physicality. And, LSU is a team that, I'm not going to go ahead and say contender, but LSU has a good football team that has the roster to really make some things happen in the SEC West down the stretch, especially with their physicality. I mean, you look at that defensive line, one of the best recruited defensive lines in the country. You got Harold Perkins at linebacker with 20 tackles, 1 interceptions for Micah Bakersfield. And this is a very talented team. And the way I describe this is you just better not awaken the sleeping giant. Right now, you have Jaden Daniels, the transfer quarterback from Arizona State, who leads the team in rushing with 262 yards. And you also there's a lot of interconnectivity with this Auburn and LSU team. Auburn actually acquired Corey Moore, wide receiver from LSU. LSU was actually able to flip Armani Goodwin from Auburn. Right now, Armani Goodwin with 34 carries, 199 yards, 5 touchdowns, guys. I mean, he's really getting it done. John Emery Jr., which has been a shock, is the former 5-star recruit. A lot of people were heralding him, and he's only got 77 yards on 20 carries. I mean, this is pretty disappointing for him. No touchdowns. But my burning question, Malik Neighbors is the leading receiver for LSU. My burning question is, where's Kayshon Boutte? Arguably one of the best wide receivers on LSU's team, at least at one time, has not been able to touch the ball. Okay, so here's my situation with Auburn. Auburn can't score in the second half. Auburn goes up 2 touchdowns against, you pick a team, Alabama, you pick a team, you pick Missouri, you pick a team, you pick Mississippi State, you pick South Carolina, you pick these teams that Auburn goes up 2 touchdowns against, but still winds up losing the football game. Now we have gotten to the point to where we've established a trend. If Auburn, for whatever reason, at home goes up 2 touchdowns, you got to really start looking at the play calling. And I'm at the point now, once the trend is set, the trust factor goes out. It's prediction time. Auburn has LSU at home. This is a very pivotal football game for both teams. I think LSU probably will want this one a little bit more. I think Auburn wants it, but I just don't think they have the utility to make it happen. Prediction time. I got LSU 28-10. I think Auburn is going to make some mistakes in this game. I don't think Auburn is going to be able to keep up as far as from a scoring standpoint. I hope you guys enjoy the football game. LSU 28-10. Like the video, comment, and subscribe. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.